Hello everybody, how's it going? We're talking about hypnotizing fragrances on women for women. So ladies, if you're looking for a fragrance that's gonna be really sexy or something that's gonna drop them to their knees, this is the video for you. We're gonna start with Mon Guerlain EDP, all right? This fragrance, by the way, all the names of the fragrances, the discount site links, the samples for global shipping, all of that is gonna be in the description in case you wanna save yourself some money. But of course, please buy where you're comfortable, but I appreciate you supporting the channel if you do, all right? So Mon Guerlain EDP is a lavender fragrance that has a vanilla dry down. Now, the type of women or girls I see wearing this fragrance are the ones that kind of want to make a slight transition. You know, you've worn the teeny types of fragrances, you know, like the very youthful, fun, flirty ones, but you want a scent that when people smell it, they're gonna take you a bit more seriously. You know what I mean? You want something that's sophisticated, that's regal, something that is still a head turner, but just exudes beauty, all right? This is the fragrance for you. There is just something about it that every time I smell it, I'm just like, damn, like that smells like a woman. You know what I'm saying? It's not a mature type of scent, but it's just something that I can never call this fragrance sexy because to me, it's like the epitome of beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So this is a gorgeous fragrance. Only downside, if this is a downside to you, is that it kind of lasts around 6 hours, so it doesn't have insane longevity. But I will say the projection of this fragrance is pretty decent. Like this is a fragrance that people can smell before you enter the room during the initial like 30 minutes to an hour of you wearing it. So it does have decent projection in the beginning, but overall, a lovely, lovely fragrance. Next is for the girls that want a really sexy perfume. And you see this on every single list that I do because till this day, it is not failed, all right? This is a very hypnotizing fragrance. It goes hypnotizing and sexy. This is the one perfume I would recommend you get if you don't have a single perfume, you don't have a collection, anything like that, and you want something that's just gonna be very seductive. You want something that you know is gonna get a lot of compliments, you know is gonna be a head turner, you know is gonna get your back broken, all right? Because Good Girl by Carolina Herrera does not play. This is a fragrance that you're gonna see a lot of hate on, but that's mainly coming from, you know, women that wear it. But as for the opinions of like lesbians like myself and guys, this shit still has us in a chokehold, all right? This is one of those fragrances that, yeah, the people wearing it would hate on it, but if you, and you might kind of be like, oh man, maybe I shouldn't get it. But if you go to a party, you go to a club, a bar, any event wearing this fragrance, trust me, you are gonna get attention because this smells so, so good. Now the performance, over 8 hours, what does it smell like? I say this all the time, but a clusterfuck of sexiness, all right? There's about 30 notes in this fragrance, and to say it smells like all of that is horseshit to me, all right? This has gardenia, it has chocolate in it, but does it smell like a gardenia chocolate fragrance? No, it doesn't. So if you wanna smell this for free, you can literally walk into any Sephora, Macy's, Nordstrom, and you will be able to just spray this on your skin and see how you like it. But yeah, this thing is one of those no-brainer fragrances that you can just throw on and you'll know that you'll smell fantastic. All right, next is probably gonna be a bit of a shock for some people that watch this, but Pie by Givenchy. And if you're thinking, wait a second, isn't that like a male cologne? Why are you having it on this list? The reason Pie is on this list is because you have to remember that skin chemistry varies from person to person. So when you have a masculine cologne and a woman wears it, it smells very different than the way it's gonna smell on a guy, all right? And Pie is just one of those unisex fragrances that's disguised as a man's scent, all right? Because this just smells like kind of like a powdery vanilla sort of fragrance that is super intoxicating. This is just a scent that makes you want to go in for more. You know, if you're somebody that likes the movies, you like cuddling, you like doing all that sort of stuff, spray this on your neck and just see how it goes. All right, this has a cult following behind it for all the right reasons. And if you're somebody that kind of want to expand out of just strictly feminine fragrances and you want to kind of teeter unisex, this is a safe fragrance to do that with. So again, powdery vanilla. Performance is pretty good. Like I do get over 7 hours with this fragrance. But I would not wear this during a hot day. Like, this is something you wear for like cuddles, you wear when it's gloomy outside, like fall, winter, that sort of thing. You know what I mean? So Pie by Givenchy. We're gonna kick it here to the niche side, and I have to talk about the Queen Delina by Parfums de Marly. It's super hot today, so I'm going through it. But Delina by Parfums de Marly is a lovely lychee fragrance. Now there is another note in here called rhubarb, which kind of gives it a little bit of a sour presence, but to be totally honest with you, the lychee dominates this scent. I have yet to smell Delina on somebody and it smells mainly like rhubarb. You know what I'm saying? So if you've never tried lychee or tasted lychee, smelled it, it's this exotic, juicy fruit. You know what I mean? You're not going to be smelling like the typical strawberry blast or like a sweet banana or a mango or something like that. It's lychee. So there's just something about it that, like, at least to me, when I smell lychee, kind of like makes me salivate. You know, it's a very sexy, fruity sort of smell, and performance on Delina goes crazy. We are talking over 10 hours with just a few sprays of this fragrance. I actually gifted this to my mom, and she'll do like 2 sprays and the whole day I'll smell it on her. Now, for all of you that live in a more cool, like cold environment, then you can go for Delina exclusive, because I do prefer the original just because I think it has versatility for all 4 seasons. But if you're somebody that really wants something that's going to cut through the cold weather, since that's going to be a majority of your year, then Delina exclusive is a bit more creamy and still just as gorgeous. All right, so beautiful, beautiful fragrance. Next, oh man, I love this scent right here. Lamar by Kajal Perfumes. Now this is marketed as a unisex fragrance, but this is a sweet pineapple scent. If you're somebody that loves Baccarat Rouge 540 by MFK, but for some reason you don't want to get it just because you're like, oh damn, I feel like it's overrated and so many people wear it, or they wear dupes of it, and you kind of want something that's a little bit different, then this is the way to go, because that's a sweet cotton candy fragrance, but this is a sweet pineapple scent. And let me tell you, this shit fills the room. It lingers, it has a very nice scent trail, it has great presence with about 1 to 2 sprays. All right, so this is definitely not for people that easily get migraines. It's for the people that want all eyes on them. It's for the people that want those head turning reactions. Like, you know, remember those like early 2000s music videos where like the guys would be like dancing behind like the love interest and shit like that, just following them and they're just walking? Like, that's the type of well, no one's gonna like dance behind you and weird shit like that, but you know what I'm saying, right? Like, it's one of those scents that will turn your head and make people just be like, oh damn, that smells good, and ask you what you're wearing. I remember when I wore this, people did ask me what I was wearing, and they had no clue what it was, because for the most part, out there in the real world, they do not know about niche fragrances. They probably heard of Creed, they probably heard of MFK, but like a house like Kajal and a fragrance like Lamar is like very top-notch, very high quality, and people are just not used to that. So they want to wear it, but they have no idea where to get it. All right, so Lamar by Kajal Perfumes, sweet pineapple indulgent type of fragrance. Next is a very unique scent, Molecule 01 by Eccentric Molecules. Now this is also marketed as a unisex fragrance, and something you have to remember is that typically with niche fragrances, a lot of them are marketed as unisex, because it's, I don't know why they do it. I'm actually glad that they do it, so that more people are willing to test things that they might not have been as comfortable with if the label says men or women. But thank God that they do, because yeah, it broadens your horizons. But Molecule 01 is an ISO E super fragrance. So what it does is it enhances your natural skin chemistry. Like I've said in so many videos before, Molecule 01 is the fragrance that if every single person in the world wore it, I literally would not care, because nobody would smell like me. All right, it really brings your own uniqueness to the table. Some people smell like shit with it though. I will say that, okay? There are people that smell like handrails. There are people that smell like copper when they wear this fragrance. But of course, again, you have to test it on your own skin chemistry. With me, people have told me that I smell clean. They're like, it's just super addictive, and they're kind of cautious to compliment me because they don't think I'm wearing a fragrance. And they're like, is it weird to compliment you on just the way you naturally smell. Like that's kind of what they were thinking in their heads. Like that's what they told me when I told them that I was actually wearing a fragrance. You know what I'm saying? So this thing carries. And on top of that, it's a fragrance that really starts to get active the second that you get active. So if you're in an office or in school, just sitting behind a desk, you're not really gonna smell this pushing off. But the second that you're doing something, moving around a lot, you will start to smell this more. But I will say it is a gamble because some people cannot even smell this on themselves, all right? So again, it's just totally up to you if you wanna try this, but a fantastic fragrance. And if you have any weak performing perfumes that you want to last longer, literally spray this on top of it and you will get like 7-hour longevity. It won't be beast mode, but you will smell that weak fragrance. I myself have tested that. Next is a gorgeous scent by Precious Liquid, Ood Symphony, another unisex fragrance that is a bit fruity, all right? So it has passion fruit, a very unique type of fruity smell. And then there's also black currant, which kind of gives it like a blackberry or a dark berry sort of scent. So just imagine the smell of passion fruit, dark berries, right? And then it has some rum, and then it also has oud in the base. Now, if you're anything like me, you don't like oud, right? For me, oud is just one of those things that might, like, it's mainly a miss. Between the hit or miss, 99% of them are misses because they just smell like things I would never want to wear. Sometimes they smell like horse shit, right? But this is oud that I actually really fuck with. So if you're somebody that wants that high quality and you want a more challenging, polarizing fragrance, you can test this one out. I will say though, even though I mentioned that this has some polarizing attributes to it, this still has something that is mass appealing to the general public. So again, if you wear this in bars, clubs, those type of settings, nobody around you will be wearing Ood Symphony, but they'll be like, damn, she smells fucking good. You know what I'm saying? It's really something that will separate you from the crowd. So if you're just that type of girl, then hell yeah, I would recommend Ood Symphony by Precious Liquid. All right, I think maybe I'll do like a couple more. This video was longer than I expected, but hold on, I do have to talk about Casilli by Parfums de Marly. Yes, we're having 2 Parfums de Marlys on this list because that house is fantastic, especially for people making the designer niche transition. But Casilli smells a bit peachy to me, all right? There's just like, there is plum in this fragrance, but I get more peach. And on top of that, the dry down reminds me of Angel Share by Kilian, which is kind of this boozy, like cinnamon roll sort of smell, even though this doesn't have like cinnamon in it, you know what I mean? It has vanilla, and I believe there's tonka bean. I might be wrong about that, but this is one of those fragrances that it smells different in the opening. It still smells amazing in the opening, despite the touch of powderiness that I'm not the biggest fan of, but it smells great. And then when it dries down, it smells like a totally different fragrance. So if you want a perfume that's not gonna bore you, that's gonna keep you on your toes for all the good reasons, then Casilli is a banger. Now this one is definitely more of, I would say not a loud fragrance. It's more of an intimate scent. It doesn't have the best performance, but it's just something that people would love to snuggle up to. Like when my girlfriend wears this fragrance, my nose just always kind of like turns towards her and I just want to smell it on her neck because it's just very inviting. You know what I mean? I really do love Casilli. And the last one I will say, it's my favorite Montal fragrance, Intense Cafe. This is for the coffee lovers, but specifically more for the rose lovers because the rose is much more dominant in this fragrance than the coffee, but the coffee makes this scent very addictive. Now, the rose does not smell mature. It's not gonna smell like your grandmother, all right? I know that that's a worry because that's my worry with rose fragrances. This one here just smells divine, all right? Now, the coffee is a little bit synthetic, but this is a fragrance that has really good push. It has a great scent trail, great performance, and it has a very nice like projection. You know what I'm saying? So we're talking 10 plus hours, honestly 12 plus hours with this fragrance. Every single time I have worn it, people have just stuffed their face in my neck and they just don't want to let go of our hugs because they're like, you smell so good. Now, this is also unisex fragrance, but like I touched on, skin chemistry is a big thing, but this does skew more in the feminine direction, in my opinion. And lastly, shit, I know I said that was the last one, but I mean, might as well give more recommendations in one video, you know? Side Effect Bionicio. This is a boozy rum fragrance. If you like rum and you like cinnamon and you want to be remembered as like the one night stand that they'll never forget, then Side Effect is amazing. All right, we're talking 10 plus hours with this fragrance. Again, another unisex scent, but this is one of those fragrances, well, actually one of the few fragrances in my collection that when people come to smell it, it gets the wide eye reaction where they're like, whoa, that's sexy. I want that. I remember when my cousin smelled this, immediately within a few seconds, got it, like bought it. You know what I mean? So this definitely has that effect on people. It's been proven time and time again. So Side Effect does not come to play. So for all you boozy lovers, give this one a shot. Again, all the names of the fragrances, the discount site links, samples, all of the global shipping is in the description if you want to save yourself some money and support the channel. But please buy where you're comfortable. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.